everybody, and welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I'll be talking about why your surrounding and your environment matters. So, I do these YouTube lives every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, Saturdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you guys do find this video content of value, you guys could show your appreciation by donating any amount that you feel is equal to the value of this video. That being said, I'll be going over a recap episode today on how to Win Friends and Influence People, a book by Dale Carnegie that you guys should definitely read at least once a year. At least once a year, okay? If not multiple times a year. The reason why is because that book teaches you how to become a better person, how to be human. I hear a lot of people always talk about, I was never given a book to be human. Well, here it is. Here's a book to be human, okay? And here's a quick little tip. Quick tip. You want to make sure you listen to people, okay? Most people just need to feel heard and understood. People don't give that nowadays. Anyways, that's going to be my recap, and I'll be talking about 4 slides that I have for you guys today. So, yo, is it TS? Hi. Who's this? Is it, is it Tavia? Did I say it right? Bye. All right, sure. All right, Marina, sure. You won't leave. Anyways, recap episode is on how to win friends and influence people. And the slide is on criticizing. Cat. Oh, okay. I just saw TS. That's what popped in. But all right, so slide is on criticizing. And I want to start with this quote, which is, people don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter what. No matter what. People don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong it may be. And that's usually because of ego, right? It's usually because of ego. No one wants to feel embarrassed, especially if it's something that they did wrong. And unless it's like, oh shit, I just totally messed up. That's my fault. They'll admit to that. But besides that, most people don't just be like, oh yeah, that was my mistake. I've run into many encounters with people where no matter how nice you are to them or how politely you are to them, and you just want to mention the fact, yeah, or just mention, well, it's different. Like in public settings, I feel like that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Like, hey, that was my mistake. Unless it's like it's something small, right? Now, if it's something that someone pointed out to you, chances are you won't admit to it. But if it's something that you're like, oh, that was my mistake, maybe I stepped on your shoe, or hey, that was my mistake when I was placing an order, I didn't tell you I don't like onions. I love onions, by the way. I didn't want onions, right? Or ketchup or whatever it is, People don't mind doing that. Anyways, but criticizing themselves for people don't want to do that in public. But now here's the thing. I felt like I really needed to surround myself with people that are willing and understanding to a point where, hey, you know what? I'm human too. You're human. We all make mistakes, And there was a certain point in my life where I've gotten constantly. It's always that way, Cat. Yeah, right. Where I've always constantly, no matter what I did, there's certain people that just find faults. Like they go through life looking for like criticisms and like what you need to do. Hey, Marina, or hey, Cat, you need to do this. It's like, yeah, I get it if it's like you're just joking around, but if they mean it and this is like their go-to just so that they can feel better about themselves, then it's like, no, fuck the shit. I don't want to be here. I want to be here with you, So, but yeah, so now I don't surround myself with those type of people because it's like I want easy and effortless people around my life. Why? Because this is why your surrounding and your environment matters. Like, just think about how much life is already difficult as it is. Trying to become better while having someone trying to suppress you, push you down, just because they don't feel good about their success, they need to pull you down to their level. Is like, nah, keep that energy to yourself. It's all good, But yeah, let's go with this quote, which is criticism is futile because it puts people, or it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes them strive to justify themselves. Criticism is dangerous because it wounds a person's precious pride, hurts his sense or her sense of importance, and arouses resentment. That's usually what it is. Whenever someone they have something to say about somebody else, and they're reluctant to point the finger back at them, it's always easy. Remember, it's always easy to point the finger about someone else, but it's way more difficult to point at you. So that's why a good audit that Julian himself he gave, which I thought was a really really good choice. Hi Cheeky. Which was, if you're unsure about some of the issues that you have, what, and you're unaware of it, or maybe you are aware and you don't want to face it, a good way to approach it is look at what someone else is doing wrong, and then whatever criticism you have, turn that back on you and let that be your mirror and see where it goes from there. Smelly man. So I don't get. I changed my whole friend group. It's smaller. Yeah, and it's not about how big your friend group is. I literally, so like yesterday, I had to turn down a lot of like invites, and it's not because I no, I love these people. I really do. It's just that even though I want to go out and hang out with them, I was like, no, like I don't want to go eat. And also I had certain things that I need to do, which was like prepare for the show. I want to make sure that you guys get the best benefit from, from watching the show. So I didn't go out. I just stayed home, and I worked on this. I was dealing with my car issues. I had a little bit of car issues, not important. But yeah, so I was like, yeah, I had to make sure, right? So even though you have good people around you, you still gotta take care of yourself. You know what I mean? And they understand. That's the most important part. It's not like, hey, it's not that I don't want to hang out with y'all. It's I have a lot of things I need to do, and these are important to me, right? So what? Cheeky. She's probably the one that suspended me on TikTok. Anyways, now before you criticize, think about why they did what they did, and ask them questions, right? Instead of assuming that something's wrong, ask them before judgment, and be genuinely curious, and be curious about what they did. Like, why do you do that? Why? Tell me. Tell me. Why? All right. And if your partner knew it was a mistake, have them feel hurt. Let them know that you're there for them. Just let them know that you're there to support them, not to criticize them, because last thing you need is another person down your back. Just oh wow. Now you seem suspicious. Don't blame her. I was not bashing Costco. Yeah, so anyways, a short story was I was talking about how you shouldn't shop at while you're hungry because you just want to put everything in your cart. And yeah, I was talking about Costco's hot dogs and their chicken bake. And yeah, I was like, that's it. I got banned or suspended. Whatever. Anyways, so if your partner knew it was a mistake, make sure they feel hurt. Understand why they did it. Or, if they own up to it, be like, how can I get you out of this situation? Right? How can I get you out? Let me help you. Right? If you care and you love that person, you want to make sure that they feel great too. Right? So, criticisms are like homing pigeons. They always return home. Right? Yeah, it builds resentment. That's why it comes back home. It comes back, and then later, sooner than you know it, you start realizing, hey yo, where all my friends at? Why everybody leave me? Why ain't nobody want to stay no more? Everybody suck. You don't return home. Of course I do. All right. So let's talk about my first slide. The first slide, which is endangering your success. I can't play any jams, right? Oh yeah, I know, man. Shit. It sucks. Oh well. Oh well. Um, that's all good. It's all good. Things happen. Things happen. But anyways, endanger. So the first slide is on endangering your success. This is what happens when you don't surround yourself with good people or like-minded people, people with the same values. People have goals for themselves. You know what I mean? And it puts a little target on your success, as in like you might it might it's already difficult enough as it is to move forward. Do you need someone hounding down your neck, letting you know you're always messing up, even though you didn't mess up? It's like it's just this obstacle, but they view it as failure. But they constantly berate you and letting you know that you keep failing. What's the point of continuing on? Because there's no point, right? We all know someone like that. We all do. All right. So we live in a very anxiety provoking world, very negative kind of views. And if you look around you or even look down on your phone, howl, howl at yourself. Did I just howl? What? not, I'm not, I'm not a coyote. All right. If you look around you or even look down on your phone sometimes, like that's all you see. It's like social media. You just see the news. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's the people you live with, right? That's your environment. That's what you're always surrounded by, right? So now think about it. If you hate being there, it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be enjoyable. You want to be around some people that finds the light in bad situations, like the time I got banned, suspended on TikTok. I'm like, it gives me a lot of insight. Let's just say if I was dependent on making a career or money on TikTok, and just because I talk about Costco hot dogs that one day, I'm gone, right? Shit. Next, one day you're making all these money, right? All these money. And next thing you know, boom, no more food on the table. No rent. You living in the streets. you, you living in the streets now. So, anyways, you want to know? There's a good question, right? Do the people you surround yourself with, do they energize you or do they drain you? Do they suck the life out of you? How do you feel? Do you feel great after you hung out with them, or is it kind of like, oh God, I couldn't wait to leave because they were too much? You know what I mean? So how do you feel after being around them? Do you feel like you learned something, or do you come out with your defense up? I have a hater. Let's see. Sick of seeing him online. uh, you can always bottom line someone's action. Uh, Julie loves seeing me, right? That's why she's always here. All right, let's see. No music equals safety. I think so. I think that's it. I think that's part of it. Um, have you know what? I might just get Cheetos and cream cheese today. I just might. I'm gonna do that with my friends. Yeah, they gotta get some Cheetos and cream cheese. Random thought. All right. All right. So let's talk about. Do you feel like you learned something, or did you come out with your defense up like, a? Maybe that too. Maybe. Um. Now, if you're constantly around someone who tries to find fault in things, spoiling the moment, making your time more difficult, and you're not having a good time, all right? You're not having a good time with this person. Think about how much more difficult it is, or how it would be to become more successful being around them with all that bitterness, kind of resentment. It's difficult. You know what I mean? It's always going to be difficult. Oh my god. Well, okay, gosh. Gotcha disappears. All right. Negative or pessimistic people are more likely to be unsupportive in your decision than being genuinely encouraging. So just being around those negative people, those pessimistic people, they're usually very unsupportive, right? Like how many pessimist pessimistic people are very supportive on the decisions that you want to do. Like tell me, let me know. I see Cheeky with her projections. You're hiding something. She's hiding something. All right. And you can't blame them. So here's the thing, too, right? If you're around negative people, that's maybe you stumble across them or whatever, or or you know they're there, but you're also around their proximity. You still have a choice on whether or not you don't want to be around it, or at least keep a distance, right? But here's one thing that we can't do. We can't blame them for being pessimistic. We can't. That's who they are. That's how they want to live life. That's their choice, right? The only thing that you can do is maybe step away from them a little bit. Maybe just don't be around them as much, right? Time to grab and enjoy. Grab what, Marina? This sounds violent. Pessimistic people surround themselves with negative thoughts, negative news, and they start fabricating their kind of own stories in their head. They start thinking about, oh, this is why they did it. They probably did this because I'm like, yo, they didn't even get that far yet, but sure, maybe. And that's what happens, right? That's what happens when that's how you build anxiety. Anxiety is thinking too much into the future and or maybe too much into the past. And that's usually what happens. And that's how you build this anxious, like this feeling of being anxious. Guys, enjoy the chocolate candy bar. Let's see. So they and yeah, so they tend to fabricate certain things. They they're they make stories up, and it's just like, okay, can I enjoy my day now? Can I have a good time? Right? And they don't listen. Usually they don't. And they feel like they need to be heard. Why? Because that's their sense of importance. Now, that's one of the six basic human needs, right? Love and connections, a sense of importance, variety, right? That's one of them. They need to feel like they're important. So they usually people that are very negative, that always sees like the dark side of things, right? And it's not to say that there aren't bad people in the world. Absolutely there are. It's just that if that's how you view life, that's what you're going to be surrounded by. If that's what you're going to be surrounded by, that's what you're going to attract. And if that's what you attract, no wonder you're always around that shit. And people that vibrates in a higher vibration, they don't deal with that. They don't associate with that. That's not the type of people that they want to surround themselves with. And how I know that is because I know certain people that are very negative and I just don't deal with them anymore. I'm just like, I get it. Life sucks. I get it. I get it. I understand. And I I hear them out for maybe about 5 to 10 seconds and I'm like, hey, you know what? And it's because I've tried helping, you know. I didn't give up. So here's another thing. I don't give up on people, okay? What I do is if they don't want to help themselves, I no longer spend my time. But if they want, they can approach me. They can give me a call. They could be like, "Hey, yo, um I need to do something to change my life or whatever," right? Yeah, um, not just yeah. I guess you could say a Debbie Downer a little bit. But I'm speaking of like there are certain people that all they do is yeah. I guess you could say that yeah. But they're very that's how they approach life. Risk like you can't have any type of risk. It's like just going out there is a risk, right? Then it's like you ever try to do something nice for those people and their views are just very negative, and so all you do is you like, hey, let's go get some food. Like, let's go grab something to eat. It's my treat. Oh, it's so expensive. Oh, it's like, no, it's like, no, it's on me. I want to take you out, because I care about you. I want to take you out. Oh no, no, it's like it's a lot cheaper. It's like, yeah, it is. It's always cheaper if you do it at home, but trying to enjoy life a little bit. Let's enjoy it. Like, I have some time off. You got some time off. Hey, let's enjoy it. No food. As I forget it. I don't even want to eat with you anymore. What's up, Bree? What's up, Bree? Um. So, yeah, they don't listen to you. They don't. There's always food out. Yeah, there's. To what? They don't listen, and they're usually extremely stubborn. So even if you want to say something, all they care about is what they say or what they have to say. They don't listen. They listen with the intent to respond, not to hear you out. So when you're listening to somebody, your goal is to listen and process what they say into what they're trying to, what they mean, what's the meaning behind what they say. All right. And that's, I think, in relationships, that's where most guys, they fail, is because they don't listen. They just hear what's on the surface. And when you want to share ideas, your goals, they usually they're very uninspired. Because they're uninspired themselves, so they need to kind of drag you down to their level, and they will drag you down to their level. And if they succeed, that means they worked, right? It worked on you. And so you don't be and the reason why they need to drag you down to their level is because they can't see the fact that you are succeeding and they're not. Because if you do succeed, then you are a mirror to you're a mirror to them, and they don't want to face themselves because they don't want to see it. So they find a lot of ways, little temporary satisfactions, by pulling you down, so that you be like, oh, I got my values fixed today. I just got my fix today because I put, and it's subconscious. They don't know it, right? Or maybe they do, but they pull you down. And once they pull you down, they get their little fix for the day, and they're like, see, I don't need to do anything for myself because look, look, and which is, in their eyes, it's a sense of control, and control is an illusion. So there's no such thing as control. You can't control somebody, you can't. Slide number 2. They search the negative everywhere. Yeah, absolutely, Tracy. Yeah. Second slide. Easy going, easy to get along with. So quote is, like attracts like. That's what happens. We just tend, people that likes the same thing tend to vibrate with the same people that likes the same things, right? That's usually what it is. So if you're more positive, then you're going to be more positive. And so, misery loves company. People that are miserable love being around people that are miserable. They love talking shit about other people. I don't care about talking shit about other people because it serves me nothing. It serves me nothing. What, gossip? You get a little like, ooh, you get a little story of what happened. It's like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, vibration. Vibrate. All right, so like attracts like. Do you want to be around someone that goes through life looking for altercations? Okay, that's my first question. Because some people do. Okay? And they're not even aware of it. They go through life looking for altercations. And then I had a friend that I had a good friend that he's a good person. I don't think he's a bad person, okay? It's just that whenever he gets inside a car and he's driving, he gets a little aggressive. You know those certain people that just gets a little aggressive? And I'm like, it came to a point where I get it. There was some fun and joy and excitement. Yeah, don't sit in Marina's car, apparently, right? That's me. No, but I'm talking about, there's this next level shit, okay? Where he gets really upset, starts honking, and and people will road rage. It's a little bit different, you know what I mean? And it comes a point where I was like, yo, Like, I get it. You don't like that, but don't do that shit when I'm in your car. Because you're putting me in danger. All because you don't know how to control your emotions. I get it. You don't like it. Life sucks. It's not fair, okay? You don't like it. Do it on your own time. Don't do it when on my account when I'm in your car. Because otherwise, I don't have a problem driving, or also don't have a problem not hanging with you neither if you're gonna keep doing this shit because you're putting my life in danger. Like, it's unnecessary because you're mad. You know what I mean? So don't do that shit around me. I get it, right? But don't get me wrong. This was a good person. This was a good person. Friendly, right? Outgoing. Um, so that was it. So I yeah. And there's nothing that you can, because here's the thing. There's nothing you can do about life circumstances. They will always come your way. But what you can do is choose not to be around it. And that's being aware of what you can control. Control your controllables. In a car, unless I agree. Yeah. And that's based off judgment, right? You can't control impulse, emotions sometimes. Yeah. We see what happens, what's happening in Julie's mind. All right, moving on. But see, that's the thing though. Like, if you controlling controllables, being aware of what you can't control is a very powerful method on how to live a better life. But most people don't want to step out of that comfort. Why? Because it's so different. It's like, people that are in abusive relationships, they tend to stay in it because that's what they know. That's what they're used to. You know what I mean? And if that's what they're used to, anything that steps out of the ordinary, it's going to cause this, like, this is too good to be true. I've heard this before, so they start self-attacking themselves, right? Self-sabotaging. Trying to stay alive though. I'm trying to stay alive. Wait, I was pissed off my friend. You want to go show off his supercharged Camry. Yeah, nah. You can show me in a video. I believe you. I believe you. I don't need to be a part of it. And yeah, exactly. So that's their life. Let that misery be misery be on their side. Just, hey, you want to be miserable? You want to attract trouble? You want to attract violence? I want to live a drama-free life. Drama-free. Okay? Drama-free. Look, you can always look at something as bad, and you could view things as good. That's up to you, though. It's really up to you. Okay? And some people find ease with in comfort, ease and comfort with drama. That's what they live by. So, and it's almost as if they don't want to fix themselves or the situation, so they can have temporary fulfillment by self-validating, right? Maybe by bringing you down, or maybe by, like, expressing how they feel. Oh, but it makes me feel so much better. I get that it makes you feel better, but I haven't seen any type of solution. Like, you ever notice those certain people, they still have problems that they're still talking about, and you're like, you've been talking about it for years. You're still talking about it. Something has not been done. Something. Or you haven't, or you weren't able to let go of certain things because of that. So maybe that's something you want to do, remove, like, letting go of some of that resistance that's holding you back, because it's obviously occupying your mind, right? They're living in your mind rent free. So you want to be careful letting those type of people in. Yaku's not here. Yaku, if Yaku was in here, thank you, Yaku. He'd be like, there's 8 people in here and it's only 2 likes. 2 likes? Where are the shares at? Yeah. Thank you, Yaku. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's how they get their fix, right? Their temporary fulfillment by taking someone down, tearing them down, kicking them down so they could bring themselves up. That's how some people operate. creating the illusion that they're better than they actually are. You ever hear people that talks about, oh, this is, yeah. It's like, dude, what do you really know? And but there's a difference. It's like, I can understand if you're trying to give advice, but don't give advice as if you're a professional if you're not. Like, that's not, I get it. That's not your realm. But if it was, I still think there's a certain way of approaching and how you're saying things. You know what I mean? But a lot of people like to fake it till they make it, right? And they end up never making it because that's all they do. They keep faking stuff. Or they find themselves back in the same hole. So what does it mean? It means that there's no shortcuts through success. People don't just get lucky through success. Okay? Maybe luck plays a little bit of a role, but at the same time, you still have to put in the effort. I can't just go into a random, like, I play video games. I can't just go in to a random tournament and just be like, I hope luck is on my side, And someone's like, yeah, you beat me because you're lucky. Oh, you lucky. And they get mad. It's like, you're always lucky. I was like, man. That's the longest you stayed on today, cheeky. All right, moving on now. People create illusions for themselves so that they can absolve themselves from problems that they don't have to deal with. So, be with someone that supports you isn't only refreshing, but allows you to enjoy the journey rather than focusing on just solely on the outcome. So, imagine you're doing something that you want to do, even though it doesn't make you a lot of money right away, right? But you enjoy doing it. And so they're supporting you. They want you to do better. They want you to succeed. They know that success takes time. But even though it doesn't take a lot of you're not making a lot of money, it makes you happy. I support that. And most people, they can't, if it doesn't make sense to them, it's always about them. So why the fuck would you do that? It's a waste of time. Right? It's a waste of time. The way we love exposing Mitchell. What? Deep dark secrets. Now everyone's in the chat. Thank you for the algorithm. I appreciate y'all. So be with someone that supports you, right? It allows you to enjoy the journey. That's so important. I can't stress the journey of having people that supports what you love doing, right? That's a different type of love, right? That's huge. I can't stress that enough, especially if you're in a relationship and that person does not support you. Oh my god, like, do not be in that relationship. Don't, because the only thing you're going to have out of that relationship is resentment. When you get out of it, you're gonna be like, I fucking hate you. You never supported me. You suck. But then you find a way to forgive them and you just let them go. It's just like, it's all right. I'm gonna go get my hot dog fix over at Costco. TikTok, if you're hearing me. But yeah. So be with someone that supports you, right? Huge thing. If they don't support you, or they kind of like let you do what you want to do, it's all good. They kind of leave you alone. You still do what you gotta do. It's even better if they do support you, though. All right. Having people who tell you that you can do more will make you do more. What was this? So me, I should move? Yes. Just nothing great here. It's nothing great. All right. So, as you start to change your views and you start to change your life, exactly, Mitchell. So many times, it's family who don't support you. I know. It's very difficult, especially if that's their views and that's how they see things. So, Tracy, I appreciate you. I see you're you're like, I'm just gonna listen to what Mitchell gotta say. All right, so you become less resentful, right? You start you start to enjoy life a little bit more. You start seeing things in a different light. You're like, you know what? Things are not as bad. I just noticed that I was in a bad state or in a bad mood because I'm always surrounded by bad, negative type of people that always finds faults in things, that goes through life looking for altercations instead of just having an easy and effortless life with certain people that enjoys life as it is, because it's like, hey, you have a choice. There's always a choice. So you become less resentful and you start to appreciate things more. Your time, your effort, your energy, and you start to gain more clarity. And I can't stress that enough. When you start loving yourself, you no longer give your time away to people who don't appreciate you. Yeah, staying out of things. And that's why like I enjoy being home. Or when I do go out, I go to my friend's house. I eat, we cook, we have barbecues. We got the barbecue boys. We open Pokemon cards every now and then. We talk a lot of shit. You know, we got locker room talk. There's certain things that you can say that, hey, everybody has a group of friends where they're like, they will say certain things, and they're like, yeah, that's funny, that's cool, but be careful. Don't be going out there saying that type of shit. You might get shot. Yeah, even though as if it's just a joke. You know what I mean? So, you start slide number 3. Hard to hear, but see you. What's going on? Yo, what's up, Yaku? Thank you for letting everybody know that there was 8 people and only 2 likes. All right. You start valuing your time and what you do, right? And it starts by identifying what we can and cannot change. That's the goal. Start by identifying that, and from the thoughts in our heads to the people in our life. That's what you can change. Okay, it starts here. So, you ever notice there's certain people that says they want to change, but yet they always find themselves back in the same situation, and they're wondering why. It's like, well, okay, number one, it's like you're still hanging around with the same people, so maybe your values are slowly slipping away. There's certain things that you let go of, that you don't really hold yourself accountable, and that's huge. That's important. Mitchell is very moving. Right, Yaku? 6 likes and 8 people in here. I don't get it. All right. And you start seeing things with your mind. You judge people by the character and less of what they say, right? Now, when I was listening to Julian, and I still listen to him, he's a great coach. He talked, I think it was him and his partner. Anyways, he was talking about how when you tend to vibrate more at a higher vibration, as in you start seeing things more positively, usually associated with positive views, you start seeing things with facts as it is, right? Like, you start seeing instead of things with your emotions. That's why I did that video about why we overvalue chemistry over someone's character. You could always bottom line their actions, and their actions will never lie, especially about their character, because keeping a consistent action based thing, it's very, very difficult. Now, you could always lie about certain things. You could always lie. What's going on? Yaku's busy. 7 likes, 8 likes. You need to invest in headphones. Hold on, I'm missing something. Anyways, let me go on. So you start seeing things with your mind. You start judging people by the character, right? And people with lower vibrations, they tend to focus more on what things are happening to them, not for them. Like, oh, this happened to me. Poor me. Life sucks. Apathy, grief, right? And then it's like they're very competitive. They're always thinking about what they're not getting and receiving instead of trying to actually do something. Like, people that are afraid of love, that afraid that they're not gonna find love anywhere else, and this is it, like this is an end all be all, like, that's not it. There is more people out there for you. It's just that you gotta put in the work on yourself for yourself so that you could believe, because humans have two primary fears, which is the fear we're not going to be loved and fear that we're not going to be good enough. A majority of the time, if you don't work on those two things, of course your fears are going to be there. What breeds confidence is courage. Inaction breeds fear and doubt. So that's another huge thing that people don't really take into consideration. And they also have all these childhood traumas, past traumas, and right? And so that's why they're like, "Oh nah, man, like catch fights, not feelings." Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Um no courage. You gotta take action, right? Taking action breeds confidence and courage, and inaction breeds fear and doubt. By Jules. So you gotta start valuing yourself and your time. But people that don't value their own time, what do? They spend time thinking about what they're gonna do on the weekends, right? And don't get me wrong, I think everybody should de-stress, but there's a certain way of de-stressing where I need this versus I want to do this because I deserve it. Some people look through life like I need to do this because my life was fucking it sucked this week. You know what I mean? Yeah. And people tend to undervalue character because we're emotional creatures, and I get it, right? Think about it. If you're an Apple person, right? Just like me, I like iPhones. I tend to gravitate towards more Apple products. So I liked it, right? Because I put trust in Apple that Apple will provide good products. So that's my connection and bond towards that, right? And it's no different than that bond that you have with another person. But I'm just saying this as an example, as a product. So then I started buying things from Apple. I found out that I only like iPhones. I don't like MacBooks. I don't like anything else other than that. Okay. And maybe if you're Android, sure, yeah, whatever. But we find comfort because we're familiarity is one of the biggest things that kind of brings us, that draws us back to what is comfortable. But you still have to be able to branch out and explore a little bit. What have you done that's so consistent that has not changed? Right, Apple gang. iPhone 13 Pro Max, baby. And then the 14 comes out. I'm like, this is still brand new, right? This is still brand new. I check my battery life. That's how I view success, okay? I had it for a year. What's my battery health? 95%. Alright. I'm doing something alright, I guess. Don't start Marina. Marina boom. So positive people will help you when you fall and not criticize you. Maybe they give you a little shit for it. Like they joke around with it. They'd be like, "Man, you fucking like, dude, you ate shit." I got you though. I got you. Right? Like those are the type of people that you want. Not, do you know what? Why the fuck do you do that? Why? What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Like do you just sense that shift? Like automatically, you were from here. You're like, you know what, Mitchell? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right? That's how people associate with others, right? But you know, if you don't know where to begin, default by becoming happy or in a positive state, and there's a reason for that, right? Um, you attract more bees with honey than vinegar. I forgot who said that, but I thought it was a good quote, so I threw that in there. And now that you're more calm, you're more relaxed, and you have more of an optimistic, not overly, but an optimistic mind. Your best works tends to start stepping forward. That's your best work. And it's difficult to put your best effort in a stressful state and environment. So if your environment always trying to tear you down, pull you to the side, keep you in the past, it's very difficult. But no bees. So it's difficult. It's difficult to put your best effort in a stressful state and stressful environment. No one wants to be around there, right? But also, when you are in an optimistic mind, you make better decisions. Hater. Wow. Oh man, Miss Yaku, hater of the year. 2020 goes to drum roll. All right. And so this is what happens when you're in an optimistic mind. So naturally, you'll become you'll get more things done and accomplish more. Okay? Your life feels more at ease. So then you're more willing to help yourself. And when you're more willing to help yourself, you're more willing to help other people, right? And you start helping people and you start seeing things, you gain more clarity. Like it's just why wouldn't you want a better life? Because here's why. Okay, you see that shift, right? That everyone's doing that TikTok trend, right? Face off, mask off shit. Yeah, here's why. People do more to avoid pain than to gain pleasure. Okay. I see what you did there, Marina. First of all, Yaku's talking about you, not me, right? I'm in a happy mood, good place, right? She's trying to project. She's trying to project different things. And she's trying to be like, but look at Mitchell though. He got suspended. Yeah, I did. Now what, Marina? Now what? You got nothing else to say. You just got 8 Miled, all right? You got Eminem'd. I'm talking shit about myself. You lose. You just got Eminem'd, all right? So you start attracting good people, right? But here's the thing too. You're not you're not actively seeking people for validation or justification so that you can feel better about yourself. You naturally just attract better people. And so they start validating you even when you're not looking for it. And that's the best way. But there are people out there constantly going out there seeking for validation every single day so they get their fix. Versus some people, they just attract, right? So they going out there smelling like ass cheeks and they're trying to get people to be like, but even though I smell like shit, I'm cool, right? I'm a cool person. I'm cool, right? You still like me though, right? Okay, cool. As long as you still like me, like that very validation seeking justificate to justify how they feel. Versus why don't you just become a better person instead of like actively trying to seek shit from other people, and they just tell you, hey, you're doing a great job. Why? Because you love the process. You're not looking for the outcome. You're not just looking for, can I get that fix? Okay. If you're a great way to view it is, here's I wrote a quote for y'all. All right, which is, if you're looking for a healthy relationship, first you need to make sure that you're not in a toxic one with yourself and your environment and your surroundings. Okay? You just got to make sure you got to let go of some of that resistance so that it doesn't come back and bite you in the ass unless you like to get bit in the ass. That's your choice, okay? It's a conscious choice, which is my next slide. It's a conscious choice, okay? Our emotions, I want to start with this quote, which is, our emotions don't affect the way we communicate. The way we communicate has an influence on our mood. Always. All right, let me repeat that one more time in a serious face. All right, a serious face. Our emotions. Let me try to say this with a deeper voice. All right, so y'all listen to me. Our emotions don't affect the way we communicate. The way we communicate has an influence on our mood. Did it work? It worked, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? It means be careful how you speak to others and to yourself. Be careful what you think about. Whatever you think about, that's a story that you start believing in, right? When you start believing that you're not good enough, that you're not going to start finding love, and it starts to, bleed into other areas of your life, that's what's going to draw you down. Everybody has days when they wake up where they don't feel the best. So then they start thinking that, oh, because I'm not feeling good, I'm not a good person. And because I'm not a good person, that I suck at everything I do. Look at this, look at that. This is why I'm not successful. And they start going down this kind of rabbit hole. But you still got to look at facts as the way it is. Like, I would have days and wake up and be like, dude, Mitchell, like, you're not that good of a dancer. You really, you've been dancing for a long time. You could be a lot better, right? It's like, yeah, I probably could. But to be honest with myself, I dance because I don't like being on a treadmill. So I dance for cardio. I don't dance with the intent of always trying to perfect the move. What if I do that? I'm pretty sure I will get better. I'm pretty sure my movements will be better, right? That the same goes with, hey, Why are certain people always leaving me? Why? Well, it's because maybe because you smell like ass cheeks. No one want like, did you forget that people have a nose? Right? If you smell like ass cheeks all the time, ain't nobody want to be around your ass, right? They don't care how nice of a maybe take a shower, okay? Take a shower. Just make sure you wash your ass last, because anyone that does that first is a fucking psycho, okay? Always wash your ass cheeks last. Is that I'm being serious. Do it last, okay? Last thing you want is to, yeah, that's deep, right? That's deep. That's deep. It's as deep as it goes. Ass cheeks. So be careful how you speak to others and how you speak to yourself. Okay? Remember that you always have a conscious choice. And you want to make sure that when other people are talking bad about another person, you want to speak good, even though they don't like them. Find the good and light in things. And the reason why I'm pushing that is because when you start and do this genuinely. Don't just do it just because, oh, I heard Mitchell do it, or I read a quote somewhere, but like really do it and find a good in people. And that's genuine to yourself. That's being honest, right? That's being truthful. And while another person is like, oh, this is what this person does, you can't really trust them for who they are. But you know what? Even though they might not be that way, it's they're still good company. They didn't do anything to me. They didn't harm, right? And hopefully we can all look past that and just have a good time, right? Now, unless they start doing things to you, then you have a choice by action by removing yourself. But otherwise, yeah, you know what? Make it a conscious choice about trying to find a good in the other person. Speak good about another person behind their back, especially in a workplace. Okay, bad news always travel faster than good news. So speak good about another person and like mean it and be authentic. Okay, now every day stand guard at the door of your mind. Right, that's I have to say it. I had to say it. Okay. Million times. Million one. It means doing things by taking action, by eliminating those who are not good to you and not good for you. Eliminating those. Let those people out. And then start, investing in yourself. Having a better nutrition. I don't like to say diets because having a diet feels like it's always fluctuating. And one of my friend, a very good friend of mine, personal trainer, he taught me how to become a personal trainer. He's like, yo, Mitchell, like, I've seen a lot of bad trainers. There's a lot of good trainers too as well, but the bad ones don't know how movement work. So why don't you understand the fundamentals? And I was like, I don't know. Can you teach me? And he was like, yeah, this is what you do. This is how you protect yourself so that as you're working out, you could progress while having these fundamentals. I was like, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. So start, listening to better people. Success leaves clues. He was a very successful trainer. He was. And he was good at what he did. But he was a little bit more on the quiet side. So if he was a little bit more outspoken and he knew more, I think he would even I wish him even more success even after that, right? But you can't change people. But I give him shit for him all the time. But like, dude, you kind of quiet, dog. Kind of quiet. But thank you. I appreciate all the things that you ever done for me. So start investing into things, right? Having a good nutrition was one of his tip. Mitchell, like your vocabulary, what you say to yourself, it does matter. So be careful what you say to yourself. If you keep saying diet and you conform with this whole trend of having this diet so that you can lose this weight, then you will eventually find yourself bouncing back to whatever. But if you have good nutrition, if your main focus is to be healthier, but you still want to enjoy life, give yourself some time. A good rule is 80-20, right? The 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you want to make sure that you're eating healthy. 20% of the time, you get some shit face. Okay, Mitchell, I've seen you shit face. You came in, you are like, ugh, I get it. We all have to have fun sometimes, right? Enjoy life. So start investing into things, right? Your food, your exercise, your environment, and your surrounding. And how to remember this, right? And how to remember that this is a conscious choice is the fact I'm pretty sure everybody done this. I've done this, you've done this. Okay, so hear me out. Everybody has been in a pissed off mood before. Yelling, screaming, crying, tears, snot, everything coming out their face, right? Everything, drool, right? Now, when that happens, okay, and you get a phone call, like an important phone call, you ever notice that your demeanor, your tone, everything changes, right? Depending on who it was. Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's your boss's boss, whatever, right? Someone that you respect, okay? That you're like, hi, hey, yes, 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 I could talk. Yeah, everything's great. That's how you know it's a conscious choice. It's because you could change the way your tone, your mood, your demeanor, all because of you have a little bit more respect for that other person, right? That's how you know you have a conscious choice on how you can't control how you feel. How you feel is how you feel. That's you can't control that. But what you can control is how you express it. Okay? Do you have to cuss them out? Probably not. Probably not. Does it make you feel better? Maybe. But if you do that constantly, you do that enough, you're going to find yourself into trouble. You're going to find yourself running into a fucking wall. That's eventually going to happen. And then you're going to act like you're surprised that someone gave you a black eye. Someone gave you a black eye. Why? I wonder why. Because you probably said something wrong. Oh, but they just took it wrong. Nah, you cussed them out. You cussed them out. You said something. You probably shouldn't have said that. Oh, but I'm the one that got punched. Yeah, I didn't say that was right, but I'm also saying that what you did was not correct neither. You know? Come correct. Come correct. How is your approach? So that's how you know it's a conscious choice, right? Yeah, man. So going back, make sure you speak good. Keep a positive mind. Like, I remember there was a time where this guy, he was super pissed off at me or whatever. I was like, hey, yo, we were driving, he was road raging, he's like, fuck you, and I was like, hey, yo, my bad, I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Like, even though it wasn't, I just had to let him know. Because why? My safety was way more important than this ego that, like, if I were to fight fire with fire, number one, you have to pick and choose your battles, right? There's way more people in that car. I'm by myself. I'm gonna fucking lose. But also at the same time, do I want, like, I'm going to have a good time, yet there's this little obstacle that got in the way because someone got upset at me. I just had to get away from that and let them be them. I'm not gonna try to change them, but at the same time, I gotta watch out for my safety. Hey, yo, that's my mistake. That's my fault, right? I would love to get you. Look, if I can, I would love to get you a drink. I'd love to get you a drink. My bad. That's my fault. They're like, yo, what the fuck? They're not used to that. Most people are used to saying or hearing a fuck you or a middle finger, right? Yes, how you say things matter, right? And the same thing goes with relationships that you have in your personal relationships. You want to make sure that you don't come in looking for altercations. You want to make sure that, hey, what's the bigger picture here? Me trying to win this fight, or resolving the problem so they feel heard and understood, so that we could have a better, loving, happy relationship. What do you want, right? Some people, they let that ego get in the way of what they truly want, right? So, speak good behind people's back, right? Stand guard at the door of your mind, right? And removing certain people and certain things of how you view things that's detrimental to your success. What is holding you back? What are those resistance? And start providing yourself with good food, good nutrition, good environment, good surroundings. What does it mean? Good friends, right? And communication is a conscious choice, okay? And here's the this, so I'm closing this out now, but this is one of the bigger things that you could kind of view this as, right? And it's not so much about being strong and being mentally resilient, even though that does play a big importance, because you don't want to just go through life yelling and exploding on people, but at the same time, you don't need to be around it, right? So it's not about how mentally strong you are to endure or like to take in all those negative talk and those type of behaviors, but it's more about the subtle influences that it has, right? The subtle influences that they can have on your thoughts, your belief, and your motivation. Because I view life is already difficult as it is. Why do you want to make it more difficult? And instead, why not live through life with a little bit of joy and excitement and still be able to pursue all that you want while still be grateful for what you got? And you you know, and what ends up happening is if you do allow those people into your life, you might start letting different things like your standards start to slip away a little bit, and your expectations for even yourself starts to lower a little bit, and you have self doubt, self negative self talk, and you start to self sabotage yourself. So that's usually what ends up happening is, there's this rabbit hole that we all fall into, right? To me watching how to me watching how I choose to react is a positive a better person. It is. And you start looking through life as the cup is half full and it's going to be full eventually. And you can't give what you don't have. So people that always in a very competitive mindset, it's always me and what I'm not getting and what I'm not receiving, and this is why the world sucks. And people don't like me because I'm short, or people don't blah 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 blah, right? Like they always find an excuse. They blame others. They start pointing fingers. Remember, when you point fingers, three's pointing back at you. Unless you, like I said, you point differently. I don't know anyone that points like this. Um, but yeah, like start pointing things at yourself and start reflecting on those. Take some accountability and responsibility. Don't take too much all at once. Do what is necessary first in order to to start progressing a little bit, right? Because like I said, I never had this thought before until I started listening to my coach and listening to better people. And like I said, success leaves clues. There are people that are successful. Like I'm already living a way better life as it is in my mind because of how I view things. Does it mean I don't get bad days? No, absolutely not. I still get days that I feel like, damn, kind of sucks, but it's okay. You know what? I got suspended, but I was like, hey, it's all good. There's other platforms, right? Other people be like, nah, no, no, right? That you will always find a way. Okay, so I want to end it with this quote by Mark Twain, which is, keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Okay, keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that, but the really great make you feel that you too can become great. So, um, that was my ending quote of the day. So what does that mean? It means that you don't really see people that are very successful that don't want you to succeed. Okay, it's only people that goes through life, that people that don't feel successful. And I'm not talking about just finance, I'm just talking about like people that maybe they got a lot of money, right? Maybe, right? But then yet there's something that is not fulfilling them. So then what they're going to project is, I can't have other people feeling like they're not, I can't have them succeed yet because I don't even feel successful, even though they could have millions, thousands, I don't know, whatever in the bank account. They got money, okay? So depends. It really depends. Successful people that feel successful in their mind, whatever wealth it is, and that's why, like, use character as your currency. View them for who they are, right? Make sure that their character, their character is their currency. What do they provide? What is their thoughts? How do they approach life? Now, just because you having good, you have integrity, you're nice to others, but you lack zero goals, ambitions, like you got to fix that too, right? It doesn't mean that you, just because you're a good and nice person, like that's not it. There's more to it. So you want to make sure that as long as you have good character and you have a goal and you have ambitions and you have things that you want to go through with your life, you're nice to people, you're dangerous but you're kind, right? That's how you could move through life without dealing with all this type of nonsense, you know? So, yeah, you don't see successful people up there always trying to take someone down, but you always see someone down trying to tear you down because they can't see you as a mirror. They can't see you. They can't stand the fact that you're succeeding, right? So, succeed with or without them. All right? So, that is my show today. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate the time, your effort. I hope this all, gave you a lot of insight, right? If there's anything that one thing that stuck out to you today, I want you to use that, whether it's a quote or something that stuck to you. Go through life and write that down and look at that every day for at least a week and see how your life goes. Okay, just based off that one quote or whatever it is, whatever, maybe something I said, right? Maybe it's ass cheeks, I don't know. And see how your life, how you view through life, is it better, right? And that's how I know. I feel great, so yeah. Even though I got suspended, it's okay. I'll be back October 1st. I think that's what it says on TikTok. So unless I get the appeal. All right. So enjoy your weekend. It's great. It feels like summer again. I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go Costco. I'm gonna get some hot dogs. I'm gonna look at that chicken. I'm gonna take a photo and post it on my Instagram. Okay, Instagram story about chicken bakes and hot dogs, because I'm not letting TikTok go. All right. All right, guys. Have a good day. All right. Have a good weekend. Don't drink too much. I know. Have fun. Not too much fun. All right. Chicken nuggets. Ooh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna stop by and get some chicken nuggets. All right. I'll post it up. Bree, it's good seeing you. Tracy, Kat, thank you. Yaku still here. Shevlin. The quiet peeps. I'm just looking. All right. All right, cool. I'm gonna go now. I see you guys on Tuesday. Okay. Unless I get the appeal, then I'll see you on TikTok. All right, bye.